Alright, welcome to Old World Gaming. This is the second episode in the series of how to make a gaming board. In the last episode I went to B&Q, picked up 3 of these 2x4 boards, so I'll have 6 foot of boards when they're all done, ready for like up to 2,000, 3,000 points maybe. In this episode we are going to add some gaffer tape around the edges of the board to give it a nice finish, but also protect the edges, because that's something that will get damaged when you're storing it, and the paint will peel off and stuff. So that's what this is. I picked up a roll of gaffer tape from B&Q as well. It was £7 I think. And yeah, so that's the idea. So the way we're going to do this is going to start down about halfway down here, and what we're going to do is go around this corner, hopefully about half and half. I'll probably do about there. Stick that on. Should have cleaned off all the dust first. That's not ideal. Does have quite a lot of dust on it actually. I did not notice that. I'm worried I'm going to get splinters while I do this. This is plywood. If you've seen the first episode, it will tell you all of the dimensions. It's 12mm thick, I believe. I think that's what it was. And the actual, in millimeters, it's like 1220 by 610, which is basically 4 foot by 6 foot, which is why it's such weird numbers. Okay. So I'm just going to stretch this all the way to the end, try and line that up so that it's halfway on either side. Is that about right? I mean, it's hardly makes any difference really, but I'm a stickler for that kind of thing. Okay, so this now is lined up so that it goes over half on the front, half on the back, and I'm just going to press it down. I should make sure it lined up nicely first, all the way along. And yeah, that's alright. Yeah, okay, right. I'll press that down, try and get a good grip on there. And then on these corners, I'm just going to snip the corner. These scissors are very blunt. I'll try it on this side just to see. Okay, that's a bit better from there. I'll try again. Yeah, really odd. Not cutting particularly well on this side. Okay. There we go. That's better. Right, and I'm going to fold this round. What I'm trying not to do is get creases in it, because creases then become a weak point for the textured paint. So what I'll be doing is I will be texturing this board with textured paint, which I'm going to mix up using emulsion and sand. We'll do that in the next video. I'll show you how to do that, and that will cover the kind of ridge between this and this, yeah, it'll look really good. Need to remember to get some sandpaper. We'll do that. Oh, I bought some sandpaper over, but I can't see them. Not that I'm doing that this episode anyway. Okay, just put that down there. Right, so I'm going to start in the middle, and I'm pressing really hard to squeeze that down, and then I'm going to each, kind of like halfway between that and the other place that it's been pressed, just to try and do it as evenly as possible, because if you do it from one side, you'll end up with creases, and it's the worst thing. Like I say, when you've got textured paint on, it becomes a bit of a weak point where there's any creases, where the paint just gets chipped off when you're storing it and moving it. Now, there'll be some natural wear and tear anyway, but it'll be kind of aggravated by any lumps that you get in it. So we're trying to make sure we don't get any. So we should be able to do that all right, all the way around without having any. Right, so just going to cut the corners on this one as well. Very poorly cut, so it rips all right on this one. Okay, so I'm just get these down as well. Try not to get creases. Let's stand it up for the next one. More or less. Let's go on as well. I didn't check the top of this for fluff. Okay. Starting in the centre, out towards the edges. That should give us a good. Yeah, there we go. We've got a few bumps to get off, but we are basically there. And this gives a really nice finish, like around the edges. One, it looks good because it's black. Obviously, you can get different colours of Battletech or gaffer tape. I specifically went for black because I think it looks awesome. And let's see, where are we heading? This right here. This one here. Yeah, so it gives a nice finish. The gaffer tape also gives it a little bit of bounce to it, so it doesn't damage so much. But yeah, it looks good and prevents so much wear and tear. But it does have a shiny surface. Apologies, talking whilst unrolling gaffer tape is not the best combination. Yeah, it does have a shiny surface on it, which will will kind of mean the paint wants to not stick to it. So the plan is to rough it up a little bit with some sanding paper, not too much, just enough to take the shine off it. You don't actually want to damage the tape, but we do want to take the shine off so that the paint has got something to purchase onto and doesn't just come off, because it will come off quite easy. I've done it on boards before without doing that, and the paint flakes off because it's a shiny surface. Paint doesn't particularly want to stick to a shiny surface, and so you end up with like a strip around the edge of your board where the paint has started to come away. I mean, it sticks, it does stick, but it's at the edge anyway, so it's more vulnerable to coming off than anything in the centre. But two, the fact that it's shiny means it doesn't have anywhere particularly to stick to. Where's my scissors here? Okay, so this is the last, coming up to the home straight, and that's where I'm intending to be a bit careful, because I want to line up as perfectly as possible. It's probably not strictly necessary, but I'd like to. And the reason I've done it on an edge is because it's much easier than a corner. The corners are the most delicate bits anyway, so I wanted to wrap around to give it the protection on the corner. So for this bit, ideally I want to get it with as little overlap as possible, but I'd much rather have a bit of overlap than no overlap. So that's the intention. So I'm going to cut it about there. Hopefully that's enough. It's not like I'm going to do it all again. I don't know what I'd do if I didn't have enough. Maybe just put a little strip around it. Okay, but this is, I've got like a 1 mil overlap, so that's fine. So, same as before. Start from the centre, working towards the edges. There we go, just a tiny little bit of overlap there. And that is the edges of the board done. And that looks really nice. There we go. So I think that's a really important step, because if you don't do that, you'll need to find some other way of protecting the edges, and if you don't protect the edges, your board will get damaged because the wood gets damaged quite easily, plus paint will be chipping off as well. So yeah, there we go. Hopefully that was useful, and in the next episode we'll be putting some textured paint on. Alright, thanks for watching.